Welcome to Mr. Peacock and Friends. I wonder what Mr. Peacock will be doing today. Let's find out, but first I have to find him. You see Mr. Peacock? Mr. Peacock! Mr. Peacock!
I'm here.
There you are, Mr. Peacock. We're wondering what you're going to be doing today.
Today I'm going to take you to see flour being made.
We're going to go see flour being made?
Oh yeah, this is so fascinating. I never knew how they did it.
Shall we go see how flour is made?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Come on, everyone.
Let's go.
We are in Orange City, Iowa, in front of their famous windmill here, and it is spectacular.
That's right. It's 76 foot tall, and the dome weighs 5 tons, and the vanes weigh over 7 tons.
It is so great. It's not a working windmill. It's just one for show. And I think we're going to talk them into letting us go up and walk around the rim there. And I bet that's going to be really fun. Let's go check that out, Mrs. Peacock.
I can't wait. Let's go.
And I love this windmill.
I know. Isn't it great? It's so tall.
If you come in the spring, you can see hundreds, maybe thousands of tulips. They are spectacular. We're in the summertime, so obviously the tulips are not here, but the flowers also are beautiful during the summer if you can't get here during their festival in the spring.
That's right. I think it looks great just as it is.
This is crazy. We're on top of the windmill, and look above there, Mrs. Peacock.
I know. Isn't that something? This is amazing.
I like the way it's built. And man, I don't think we would be up here when they were actually operating it to grind all the important grains.
I don't think so.
Let's go around the corner.
Okay.
I'm a little bit freaked out by the tilt here, but you know, it's really high. And I'm used to going up painting and fixing the Peacock barn, but Mrs. Peacock, is this pretty high or is it?
Yes, it is. This windmill is 76 feet tall. The dome weighs 5 tons, and the vanes weigh over 7 tons.
We're in a downtown park here. Mrs. Peacock, tell us something about the signage with this windmill we're about to see.
That's right. This is the Polder Molen. It's called the drainage mill. And these large drainage mills were developed in North Holland during the 16th century. They evolved from the WIP molens. The top was made smaller and the mill body larger, which caused the mill to generate greater power. The larger construction also provided more suitable living accommodations. These large mills had the capacity to turn the cap from below by means of a tail pole. The base of the large drainage mill is usually built in the form of an octagon. Often, these were built in gangs of 5, each one lifting the water 3 feet.
We found another windmill, Mrs. Peacock. I think you should tell us something about this one as well.
Okay, this is called Stelling Molen, which is called the Tower Mill. About 1604, Dutch millwrights started to build large and tall mills. These tall mills were able to catch the wind across other buildings that did not have to be erected on the outskirts of the town. With tall windmills, the cap is more than 100 feet high, thus a provision had to be made to set the sails. This provision consisted of a circular stage with a handrail built around the mill halfway up. The Stelling Molen has 7, sometimes 9 floors. Grain is hoisted up in sacks to the bin floor by a sack hoist. The grain flows by gravity to the stone floor where it is ground, and then to the meal floor where it is sacked. Below the meal floor is the grain floor, and the grain floor, and then 2 floors of living quarters. Below this, some molens had a loading floor, and sometimes a stable floor.
They have a make-believe canal, which these windmills were often used for to pump the water out, and they created a nice bridge. And Mrs. Peacock found some information about this bridge.
This bridge is an example of drawbridges which have been used for centuries in the Netherlands to permit the passage of loaded ships or ships with large masts. It's patterned after a bridge which once stood over the Amstel River in Ouderkerk, North Holland.
Here's another one, Mrs. Peacock. This is a smaller version of it, but boy, I bet it was huge when they actually used it.
This is called the Peacock Molen, or the sawmill. This molen was developed in the Zaan district about 1600, where sawmill yards and the timber trade was established. Timber arriving on rafts had to remain in water a long time before it was sawn. On this account, the Peacock Molen was always situated along a waterfront. Due to its long length, the logs project on either side of the mill. For this reason, a platform and roof is provided on both sides of the mill body. Inside the mill are several floors. From bottom to top, there's the sawing floor, the frame floor, the empty floor, the crank floor where the crankshaft is located, and above this, the top floor. Here's another one.
Good, tell us about it.
This is called the Windmills, or hollow post mill. The Windmills developed during the 15th century. It's a graceful mill found in great numbers in the polar regions of Zuid-Holland, West Utrecht, Noord-Brabant, and Friesland. The Windmolen is the oldest drainage mill and evolved from the post molen. The rectangular mill house has been made smaller, and the pyramid-shaped lower part has been made bigger or higher. These mills are generally painted in very bright colors, providing a colorful note in the polar landscape. Living accommodation inside a windmolen is not very large, thus the smaller windmolens are not inhabited. This is called standard molen or post mill. This molen's the oldest type, now almost extinct, and can be found in Noord-Brabant, Groningen, Overijssel, Gelderland, Zeeland, and Limburg. These molens were used in or around the year 1200 as corn molens. Body of the standard molen or post mill consists of a large square box constructed to turn about a heavy wooden pillar, the post. The breast and tail of the body are narrower than the sides, so they may catch as little wind as possible while still providing sufficient space inside. The body is turned to enable the sails to be set into the eye of the wind with every change of its direction. This is another windmill. It's called the Jasker. This small windmill has the simplest construction conceivable. It was found almost exclusively in Friesland and Noord-Overijssel. It consists of a continuous inclined shaft and the upper end which carries a set of sails, while the lower end has a closed Archimedean screw attached. The bottom end of the screw is immersed in a pond. The legs of the trestle rest on a circular ring of concrete fitted around the pond. In this way, the trestle can be turned around the ring, while the pole in the center of the pond acts as pivot. These molens have fallen entirely into disuse and do not even resemble a Dutch molen in their construction.
You just seen how flour was being made in Orange City, Iowa.
Yes, that was really interesting, but we also learned other things about windmills, that it can saw tree logs, and it can pump water, and it's very interesting. And you know what? People even live in the windmills. I didn't know that before.
I didn't even know that either. They are so big and kind of like the big windmill that we were in, and had several stories. What a unique place.
Yeah, and of course, we know that the grain gets ground up into flour, so it was interesting to see the windmills, and it was also interesting to walk around on top of that one huge windmill. That was fun and scary.
Yeah, it was kind of tilted, so that gives some room for the blades to go around and not hit the side. It was so enjoyable. Oh no, not again.
Yeah, time's up. We gotta go.
But do we have to?
But we gotta go. Time's up.
Okay, if that's the case, I'll say, see you all later.
That's right. Next time on Mr. Peacock and Friends, we'll see what's happening on the Peacock Farm. Right, Mr. Peacock? Mr. Peacock is gone. He must be off on another adventure. So until next time, on Mr. Peacock and Friends, I'll see you later. Mr. Peacock! Mr. Peacock! Mr. Peacock!
If you like our videos,
Please subscribe
like
and share.
with all your friends.